Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make 4 very easy fun fold cards out of a 12 by 12 inch piece of patterned paper. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have a very simple one-sheet wonder card idea that I want to share with you. And you can use this one-sheet wonder template to create 4 fun fold cards. Now, the cards in this video feature the Adoring Hearts bundle from Stampin Up. So this particular bundle has a stamp set, a coordinating die set, and a hybrid embossing folder. Now, the cards also feature the Most Adored Designer Series paper, and this particular paper is free with a qualifying purchase during celebration. So it has some fun patterns on the front and some gold foil patterns on the back. Now you can create these cards with any 12 by 12 inch pattern paper that you have on hand and any supplies. Okay, so first you're going to need to choose a 12 by 12 inch piece of pattern paper. So I am using the Most Adored Designer Series paper. So this particular paper has these little hearts on one side, and then on the back side we have this beautiful gold foil design. So this is front and back. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this into 4 different strips, and they're going to be 3 inches wide. Now, if you have a directional pattern like I do, you want to make sure that your hearts are in the correct direction. So they are when you do your cutting. So I'm going to flip this over, and we're just going to slide this in our paper trimmer, and we're going to cut 3-inch sections. So we'll end up with 4 of them. So you'll end up with 4 pieces, which are 3 by 12 inches. So we need to take this 12-inch long piece, and we need to cut 1 inch off so that we are able to adhere this to a standard card base. Now you're going to keep this little piece because we're going to be doing some decorating with that. Okay, so once you cut off that 1-inch piece, then I like to flip this over so that I can see my pattern, the pattern that I need to be directional. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score this at 3/4 inches, because this little piece here is going to flip up and become a decoration on the front part of my card. So I'm going to score that at 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to score the entire thing at 5.5. All right, so this is actually going to be the inside of the card. So I'm just going to fold on this score line here. So this little 3/4 inch section, we're just going to fold this upward on top of itself. And we're just going to add some glue here and adhere this back onto itself. So that'll just be a little decoration for the front of the card. All right, so this is what we have so far. We have this, it's 3 inches wide, it's 5.5 inches long, and this little section here is just folded back 3/4 inches onto itself. So we're ready to adhere this to our card base. So I just cut a 4.25 by 5.5 inch piece of real red cardstock. And then I'm just going to adhere my pattern paper right down the center. And this will become our fun fold section. So once you have it adhered, now we can go ahead and decorate it. So that little piece that we cut off, that little 1-inch piece, we're just going to adhere this on the bottom. And you're doing it on the inside, the bottom inside of this card. So that way when we close this, we have that little strip of hearts in between. We have our little fun fold. And since we're working on the inside of the card, let's go ahead and add some of the other pieces. So I cut a 3 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to put this over the top of this designer paper. Okay, so now let's go ahead and decorate the front. So for this card, I just cut out a variety of different shapes using the Adoring Hearts bundle. So the dies cut out just plain hearts, or they cut out embossed hearts. So the first thing I did is just stamp a little greeting on one of these white hearts. So I'm using real red ink and just one of the greetings from this particular stamp set. It fits perfect within this little heart. So now I'm just going to adhere these two little hearts together, and we'll just kind of adhere them on an angle a little bit here. And then we'll add some dimensionals to the back. All right, so before I add that, I'm going to add just a little scallop shape, and I created this with just a 1" by 3" piece of white cardstock. And I used one of these scalloped contour dies to create this piece. So I just thought I would decorate this up a little bit more and add kind of this fancy little piece on the bottom. And then we'll take our little hearts and we'll just add these right above it. Then there's a fun little die in this set that just cuts out this outline of hearts, and then the hearts that were on the inside are here. So I just used both of them to kind of decorate up my card. So I just laid out the hearts where I wanted them, and now I'm going to use this little take your pick tool just to pick up these hearts. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue directly to the card, and then I'm going to adhere the heart. And this just makes it really easy to adhere these little tiny pieces, you know, to decorate up your card. All right, so that is what the front of the card looks like. And then the last thing I did on the front of the card is just added a couple gems. These are just some of the iridescent gold foil gems. So I thought they went really nice with this gold foil, but you can decorate it with any embellishments that you have on hand. All right, so that is the front of our fun fold card, and let's finish the inside. So I have the same scallop piece that I used on the front. I'm going to put that on the inside of the card right up here at the top. It just kind of finishes it off nice. And then this little leftover piece, I'm just going to adhere it to the inside of the card just for decoration. Okay, so that is the inside of the card. This is the outside of the card. It's just a very simple fun fold. And you can make 4 of these with that 1 sheet of designer paper. So here is what I put together. And you can decorate them the same, or you can make them different. And then here are just a few more cards. I just used a different piece of pattern paper and some different colors to create these cards, but the template is exactly the same. So this is 3 inches wide, and this is the designer paper on the inside. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 4 different cards that you can make from one 12 by 12 inch piece of designer paper. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.